Well, hello and welcome into that epic collapse here from Raymond James Stadium where the Buccaneers lose to the Cincinnati Bengals 34-23 with David Shealy. I'm Evan Klosky. And David, if I told you entering this matchup that Joe Burrow would throw for 200 yards total, the Buccaneers would give up less than 55 on the ground, and they would lose by double-digit points, what would you tell me?
You tripping. Yeah, I'd be like, you tripping, and how in the world does that even happen?
Yeah. The Buccaneers had nearly 400 yards of offense. They had 150 more yards than the Bengals, but the whole reason why this game was tilted so heavily in Cincinnati's favor, 4 turnovers, all in the second half, all from Tom Brady essentially, 4 of them coming in 11 consecutive plays.
Well, that's really what turned the game over, right? And then the one that's not really a turnover, but it was the botched fake punt or whatever that was with Giovanni Bernard. That really changed the game. That changed the momentum, is what the players were saying in the locker room. So after that, you get the consecutive turnovers, which, look, we're talking about a AFC championship offense with a short field. That's going to be hard for any defense. And the Bucs in the first half were not on the field defensively a lot, but in that second half, they kept having to go out there with those short fields, and that's just not fair for them.
Yeah, I mean, Cincinnati entered this contest as one of the hottest teams in the National Football League, and the Buccaneers were working them with a ton of injuries out there. And I know Cincinnati has a ton as well, but there was a lot of positives to take away from that first half offense, especially what we were seeing schematically with play action, the motions. We were like, this is a totally different team. And then the second half happened, and they resorted back to everything we have seen from this season, just a bunch of talented players who cannot figure it out and piece it together. I do want to say this with the Gio Bernard mishap. He said it was a miscommunication. Todd Bowles said he knew exactly the play, said they practiced it all week. It looked like they definitely had the front that they wanted if they would have got it. I don't blame Todd Bowles for that. I mean, we've been arguing for them to be more aggressive all year, so when they are more aggressive, are we really going to complain about that? It comes down to execution, and David, let me know what you think about this. If there's any game where I think the coaches deserve a pass, because we've been hard on them all year. I thought they actually coached really, really well tonight. The players lost this game, and they deserve the responsibility in this one.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Look, it's not on Bowles or Leftwich for the interceptions or the fumbles, right? That they call the plays. It's up to the players to execute. And one of the most simplest things in football, like the handoff or just hanging on to the football as you're being tackled, that's not on a coach. So I agree with you there. And again, when you continually give one of the better offenses with Joe Burrow at quarterback, a short field, you're basically asking for a loss, and that's exactly what we got here at Raymond James.
Yeah, so now let's look forward, because entering this contest, I said it on the Blitz. Remember, you can watch that on Sundays, right here on Brightside at 8:30 in the morning. I said this game really didn't matter in the grand scheme of things. They're still in first place in the division. They have the Trace McSorley-led Arizona Cardinals on Christmas. Then they get the Panthers here for the last home game. Bruce Arians will go up into the Ring of Honor. And then you have the Atlanta Falcons to end the season, who it looks like the Falcon season's also over. So if you win these 3 games, you are in the playoffs. You can also win 3 in a row. That creates momentum, and all of a sudden, I still say this, you do not want to face Tom Brady in the playoffs.
Well, they win 3 in a row, and that gives them a winning season, actually. And crazy enough, a winning season of any sort is something that I think fans will take right now, although the expectations were basically Super Bowl, right? So, look, if you don't beat Arizona, you really, really have a problem. And I said this back when they played Carolina the first time with P.J. Walker. They had just fired Matt Rule. They had just traded Christian McCaffrey. So I can't really say, oh, it's a lock on Christmas Day. Yeah. But you do have a lot of things to work on, and I think that Arizona game is a great chance to really kind of exercise some of the demons that we saw here. And then, again, Carolina and Atlanta, 2 teams that are having losing seasons, and on paper, you are better than them. So a winning season is in the books if you can figure it out. But if you don't, and you still make the playoffs losing record, I don't really give you a shot against any of those teams. Eagles, Cowboys, any of them, none of them.
Pretty much, and also the Buccaneers have not won a road game since New Orleans back in week 2. So we will see what happens. But again, here from Raymond James Stadium, the Buccaneers lose 34-23.